car repossessions are at their highest level since the Great Recession, with millions of Americans losing their vehicles.
A lot of people.
And the fronting like you rich, the fronting like all this is finna be over. I'm telling you, most of my sisters are broke. It's some who have found a way. And I am so happy they have. But most of my sisters are broke, just like most of my brothers are broke. But the sisters was acting like they not broke, holding up drinks on an island that they got there with a buddy pass and all that shit. No.
A lot of people are basically letting go everything, right? They don't care about their credit because they're crunched when it comes to layoffs. They're crunched when it comes to, already being close to 30 days late. A lot of finance companies are saying, hey, can we extend your loan, or can we put 3 payments on the back of your loan and stuff like that? And really it's just a sign of the fact that the costs are too high. The interest rates are high still, which the Trump administration was pushing for the Fed to actually lower interest rates because inflation is now still in the 2% range and it's been there for a long time. But you're going to see a lot of people now lose their car.
The roosters are coming home. My sisters, everything you did is finna come back on you.
I think the biggest question we have is this a recession indicator?
Rising repossessions doesn't necessarily signal a recession, but does show the economy is losing steam, especially in the job market.
If people then are not getting, the raises, if they're not getting the jobs, then they could be impacted then in terms of their ability to make payments.
Here's 3 things you didn't know about car repossession. Number 1, your car can be repossessed the first time you miss a payment. The grace period people think they have is really just a myth. Number 2, partial payments don't matter. The only thing they can do is extend the time before the repo man comes. And trust me, he is coming. So make the full payment. Repossessions happen unexpectedly, so you can lose any items left in your car. Legally, they have to give you your personal property, like laptops, cell phones, or computers, but you won't be able to get any features that you added, like your booming system or special lights.
The U.S. auto loans delinquent by 90 days or more has reached a level beyond COVID level, right? As June 30th, 2025, we have almost a 5% delinquency level that is 90 days or more. Let's look at a 5-year chart. We're reaching pretty much what we had during COVID. Now, a lot of this was subsidized money. There was a lot of deferments, a lot of aid from the government to help people during COVID times. But now people are starting to see things are getting more expensive and people are unfortunately can't catch up and can't catch a breath. Vehicle prices are getting higher. Car insurance is more expensive because that's also credit based as well. So you have to understand that a lot of times this is affecting the middle class and the poor class. And I tell people all the time, it is very expensive being poor. If you make poor decisions and you are stuck in this mentality of just like getting into whatever you can because you don't have a lot of money down. I get it. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but understand this puts us in that cyclical, very bad path into financial disaster, generational pain instead of generational wealth. We got to break that cycle.
You guys haven't been noticing things are getting tougher and tougher and tougher. One of the things I've been telling people over and over and over again is prepare, prepare, prepare. Because guess what is happening now? All of a sudden, everybody's running to the door to get their car refinanced. Now everybody's running to the door saying, hey, take my car back that I overpaid for. You got a loan through the Gambino family, and now you're like, now that the economy's going down, layoffs are happening, and the government is shut down.
Well, your polite savages, this is by no means an indictment of 100% of the folks who purchased a vehicle in the last couple of years. But what we do understand is that a lot of folks, they purchase because they believe they deserve something. Oh, I deserve this. I've been working hard. I put in overtime. I worked 2 jobs. I got 2 degrees. I deserve this Mercedes-Benz, this BMW, this 440 IS. Oh, this Tesla. I deserve to jump in and ride in luxury because I've been working hard. Well, the bottom line is this. It's not what you deserve, it's what you can afford, and you have to understand if you can afford it when the times get tough. Are you able to pick up that extra job to make ends meet? Because sometimes when the ends ain't meeting, you're gonna meet the end of having a vehicle, my friend.
With housing and food costs still high, Jin says many people are putting car payments lower on their priority list. He adds that this goes back to the pandemic, when many consumers had extra cash and splurged on cars. Those vehicles often came with high prices and high interest rates, leading to big monthly payments that some are now struggling to keep up with.
I don't want you guys to be like 17 thinking about getting your dream car. If you don't have the money for it, don't get it. Basically, boom, I financed this car. The vehicle in total was $39,000, right? I was upside down $10,000, basically like $10,000.
So the video that she put out is essentially her explaining that she can't afford her Jeep payment anymore. It's about $1,200 a month. She had her dad co-sign for her at 17 years old. She's had this car for 2 years, and she's only eaten away about $6,000 of the actual principal, and the rest of her payments went to interest. She has about a 14% interest rate on this vehicle, and she had traded in her Kia and rolled over $10,000 in negative equity. So at 17, she took on a $50,000 auto loan at 14% that was co-signed by her father.
All right.
And I've said this many times, you see, financial understanding is often generational, and you have to break that curse. You have to stop, study, understand. This lady's father, this young lady's father, this child's father, yes, she was 17 years old. He was never supposed to sign for a big loan for this lady. He was never supposed to put her in that situation. He was supposed to protect his child. He was supposed to look her in the eyes and say, no, we're not doing it. And he's supposed to have equity and authority in his house to be able to tell her that. But we understand what's going on here. 9 times out of 10, when you're kneecapped, when you're not the head of your household, even though you're in your household, you wind up making poor decisions for your household. Somebody's getting their wake-up call.
Wake up. Wake-up calls of itch.
You know, whatever the finance company, or union, right, or a credit union or a bank or something like that, they are the ones that are struggling with repossessions. And we're going to get to the people in a minute, but they're the ones that's trying to struggle with, you know, finding the right buyers or being able to qualify buyers because they don't want to repossess the cars because then they have to sell them at a loss at an auction.
There's even an article that was posted that Americans are behind on car payments at a record level. As you can see, most of the auto loan delinquencies come from subprime borrowers. If you're subprime, that means you've had some prior issues with your credit. Right now, 6.6% of subprime auto borrowers were at least 60 days past due on their loans in January 2025. This is the highest level since the agency began collecting data.
We did know this was coming, guys. So this isn't a surprise. One of the cylinders in the U.S. economy engine is causing some sputtering. Since the pandemic, buyers on auto dealer lots have encountered surging sticker prices, smaller incentives from automakers to lessen the blow. To afford an automobile, more customers, especially lower income families, have resorted to buying used cars and taking out longer loans. Now, we talked about this earlier, guys, and one of the things that I had said, especially with the Teslas, Tesla was offering 7-year loans.
And I can tell you this from personal experiences, a repossession is the worst of the worst. Happened to me 35 years ago. My goodness, young, dumb, and not taking care of business. Economic downturn, didn't learn my lesson, bam. 7 years, bad luck. And let me tell you something, when that credit hits, it's a whole lot to dig out of that hole. It costs you a whole lot of money. Everything you do from then on is double the price, double the pleasure, double mint gum. Because you get zero credit for being young, dumb, and full of
Now, what do you do when you then lose your car? Most of the time, or I'll tell you what I did the thing that I was supposed to do in the first place, and I went and bought a car cash, and I drove that mug until the wheels fell off. I had close to 300,000 miles on my Cadillac STS, and that was back in like 2008 when I had went broke and moved back into my mom's basement.
Let me tell y'all what happened today, y'all. They almost recalled my car, and I almost let them. When they told me what the balance owed was, I was this close. They was like, if you don't bring it current, we gonna come get it. And something told me, oh, I should have let them go.
You see, when we said winter was here, we wasn't just talking about the ladies because everybody has to endure the cold winter. This is an entire industry, an entire sector of the economy. Stagflation, benefit cuts, government shutdown. Oh yes. 2025 Hunger Games. If you're not ready, if you don't have that shelter, if you don't have that community, well, There's a lot to fear because, like we said before, winter is definitely here. And just remember, a poor credit score equals you paying a whole lot more than you should for items that you should have every day, thus draining more and more resources out of your household, making it harder for you to make a way.
Move credit scores 100 points in your neighborhood, and look how the crime goes down, the hope goes up, the health disparities decrease, the health wellness increases, the marriages increase, two-parent households increase, single-parent households decrease, the education levels, the home ownership levels, the small business levels increase. It's a radical movement of common sense. You increase credit scores 100 points, neighborhood by neighborhood across America, you fix this country. You stabilize this country. And I know you listen to this and going, what does this have to do with crime and police brutality and quality of my schools and quality of my health care and quality of democracy? Everything. 15 minutes apart, you live 20 years different lives.
Winter is coming. You see that? Winter is coming.
Winter is here.
Polite savages.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it. We can never see past the choices we don't understand.
Ladies, gentlemen, and polite savages, we are now about to embark on a journey sure to anger feminists and modern women alike. The only thing we can do is guarantee to tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth as we see it. And at times, the truth is a bitter pill, but it's time to shut up and take your medicine. So there's nothing else left to do but get on into it. Are you ready? Let's go. Well, if the oncoming economic downturn was a hurricane, we would have to call this one Melissa, because we are seeing signs upon signs that this economy is gigajacked, absolutely beat down and clowned. And of course, we all understand that it's going to be tough on everyone, but there happens to be a section of the community who thinks that they can just e-beg or beg their way up out of it. And these are the same ladies who make sure that they don't date anybody without that bag. Well, they figure that they don't have to work for it because they're cute and they're going to get that bag. So they're going to take their poor decisions, put it on you, and expect you to deal with it. And why do I say this? I say this because the ladies, instead of looking around, understanding what's going on, they're still with the same blabble blabble over and over again, talking the same jazz. You got to have that bag to get this ass. You dig?
If you are broke, it's just like, what am I doing with you, bro? Like, what can you do for me? And that's not really like paper chasing or like gold digging or nothing. It's just like, well, if you down here, you still like trying to get your money up and you don't really know what you about, where your life is heading. Like, you don't got no money. Like, what you want to do for me?
Can you be finessed?
I can't be finessed.
All right, cool.
Period. Because I know what's fake money. I know what's real money. I know what's a broke guy. I know who's a guy that got money.
Women have made dating into like high-key prostitution. Like, y'all are really trying to slide it like it's not. Like, hey, I done gave you my time and my time costs. And they like, for a date? I feel like the date is the payment. Like, I feel like me taking you out to dinner, that's not enough conversation. You're like, no, I got bills to pay. I don't got time to waste. Ooh, why are you on this date? You didn't have to accept it. You could have said no. Like, I'm not in a place in my life where I can date right now.
Au contraire, ma'am. You see, dating when you're broke is for women. Dating when you're not broke is for men. See, a woman will look a man dead in the eye and tell him, what are you doing with me if you ain't got enough money to take care of me? But if she's broke, she'll look you in the eye and say, you are supposed to take care of me. And this economic downturn is really bringing them up to the surface. It's kind of like when you cut the grass and all the snakes show. You turn on the lights and all the roaches scurry in the dark. Scamper, scamper, run, run, hide, hide, because nobody wants to get caught with their hand inside the cookie jar. But what it really comes down to is there's a whole lot of poor economic choices coming to bear fruit. And these repossessions are just the tip of the iceberg. We already see how people flipped out over Snap and EBT. If for the right price, they gonna shake that thing up there where everybody could see.
Diamond and lace. No Snap, no problem. Saturday, November 1st, 2025. $500 in food and groceries to the hottest mom on stage. Top 5 participants get a Walmart gift card. Look at how rapidly everything came apart. Look at how rapidly. You know, sometimes people joke like, oh, we're an economy. We're a gig economy and an only economy. In all seriousness, we're a fucking gig economy and an only economy.
And as we say, we've traveled full circle just 5 years removed from the shutdowns of 2020, 2025. We're experiencing the same thing, except everybody's out in the open, out doing what they're supposed to do, except what they're supposed to do isn't paying them like it used to do. Inflation, government shutdown, no benefits. And we all know what's coming next. When it gets tough, these ladies are going to hit you with that, "Hey, big head" text. It's just a little bit too late for that, because you made your bed to lay in. But the bottom line is this, folks. Everybody's in the same boat. So when you're coming to me asking me to do something for you, I'm like, ma'am, I'm just barely doing for me. You have to understand. See, your time to build is over. It is now time for us to live with the consequences of our actions. I hope you made the right choice. It's cold out there. You dig?
Or falling behind on loans, struggling to afford payments as wages stagnate and unemployment ticks higher. See, this is the reason why I said prepare. I said prepare, prepare, prepare. But I know some of you guys in the back are like, Orlando, we don't believe you. There's no way people were this naive to buy a car that they did think that was going to depreciate and then also realize that their car payments are too high. I gotcha.
What's your monthly rent?
I only give my mom $300 and then $246 for the car payment every week.
Every week?
Yeah, because I have a deferred payment.
How long?
For another like 3 weeks, I'm paying $246 a week.
Oh, I see what you did. Your primary loan of the car, essentially $15,000, and then you financed your down payment?
Our repossessions are up like crazy. They've increased by almost a quarter, 23% in the first half of this year when compared to the first half of last year. The increased rate of car repossessions is due to the twin effects of inflation and high interest rates, hammering household budgets. Average interest rates for a new car are 7.3%, and for a used car, it's 11.5%. Monthly bills for a new car are $739 on average, and for a used car, it's $549.
I'm your host, the Baby Godfather, and today we're talking about how most women don't want a man, they want a sponsor. Let's be honest, some of y'all not looking for love, you're looking for lifestyle. You want the perks of partnership without the pressure of performance. You call it standards, but it sounds more like a payment plan. If every requirement on your list has a $sign, that's not romance, that's receipts. A real partnership means both people invest effort, time, and peace.
Thank you for watching the Tip Network. Follow us on all social media outlets and ask yourself one burning question. Can you handle the tip? Boom, we're out.
We found true happiness.